Speaker, there is no quorum. Honorable Speaker, there is quorum.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers. Order number 6, notices of motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wish to give a notice of motion on the approval of members of the County Assembly to serve in the County Assembly House Business Committee.
Order number 7, statements. Order number 8, motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wish to move a motion on the approval of the members of the County Assembly to serve in the County Assembly House Business Committee that pursuant to Standing Order 154, subsection 1 and 3, this House approves the following members to serve in the County Assembly House Business Committee. Number 1, Honorable Cheruiyot Melly. 2, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Walter Teno. 3, Honorable Eliud Kirongo. 4, Honorable Julius Keter. 5, Honorable Geoffrey Kevolwe. 6, Honorable Josephat Bet, who is the member. Honorable Bridget Songok, member. Honorable Milka Chumba, member, and Honorable Paul Pirech. Mr. Speaker, Cheruiyot Melly, who is the Speaker and being the chairperson, who is automatic. Honorable Walter Teno, who is the leader of my majority, Mr. Speaker, by the standing order, is the automatic member. Kirongo the same, being the minority leader. Honorable Julius Keter, and who is the majority whip, and Honorable Geoffrey Kevolwe, by virtue of the standing orders, Mr. Speaker, they are automatic members. So, Mr. Speaker, for the running of this County Assembly, Mr. Speaker, I propose that, and I move this motion, that these members be approved so that we'll have the business of this County Assembly moving forward. I call upon Honorable Whip to second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to debate on this list. Mr. Speaker, I was going through the list and I see these are reputable honorable members. But Mr. Speaker, when I was still hustling, I used to attend the interview, and the first assignment for your interview is your presentation, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we understand House Business Committee is a committee that is driving the core mandate. I don't object the names, Mr. Speaker, but I am wondering how, in a special day when the interview is there, apart from those members who are outlined by the Constitution, the other members are missing in the Honorable House, Mr. Speaker. So how are we able to trust them that they will transact business in this Honorable House, Mr. Speaker? Not unless the leadership can tell us they gave them some facilitation to attend the Valentine. We know it was a Valentine's Day today, Mr. Speaker. So not unless they are aware that they are being approved today and they decided to disappear in action, Mr. Speaker. But this is, I wish they were here, Mr. Speaker, so that when we are passing their names, we give them condition, Mr. Speaker, because there are a lot of pending business in this House, and it is the same committee that will approve. We are aware, Mr. Speaker, that even during the recess, we were recalled on a special sitting because the governor was addressing this House. So even the governor address has not been deliberated. So it means we have a lot of business. But my worry now, Speaker, we are tasking people who are missing in action. They are late even for the plenary itself. So it's putting us in an awkward situation. I think we should give them a serious warning that, Mr. Speaker, I know they could be following where they are, but because apart from the Honorable Speaker, who is the chair of this committee, the Honorable Leader of Majority, Honorable Eliud Kirongo, who is the Leader of Minority, and Julius Keter, who is the Whip, and Honorable Kefolwe, we have other members who are equal to the task. Honorable Josephat Bet, my namesake from Kaptel Gamoyo, is able to the task also. The Honorable Bridget Songok, I think, in as much as she's in this committee, she'll be representing gender and representing also people with disability. Honorable Milka Achumba, a ranking member in this committee, and Honorable Bol Birey. So I don't object the list, Mr. Speaker, but my worry now, the people in question, majority of them are missing, Mr. Speaker, and I believe this is a core committee that should transact business. Mr. Speaker, I think there should be a clear warning to this committee. In as much as I am for the opinion that we approve the names, Mr. Speaker, for businesses to run in this Honorable House, but Mr. Speaker, we need serious people who will keep time. Because, Mr. Speaker, we have had sessions where we come to this Honorable House, in the order paper there is no business to be transacted. We don't know whether the members are not giving motions, or it is the committee who are not allocating businesses of the day. So, Mr. Speaker, I was following the debate yesterday, and the Honorable Member representing Jepkumia was kind of talking about we're communicating with Honorable Shangu, and it seems we are having a good working relationship, Mr. Speaker. But I was worried, Mr. Speaker, because the day the watchman, our dog will work with the thief, Mr. Speaker. It is a sign of worry. But I know it's a good working relationship, Mr. Speaker. So we expect that this session, Mr. Speaker, the 2024 session will be a fruitful one where we want to work. And before we even, because, Mr. Speaker, this is the first step. The constitution of House business will mean will now proceed to the selection committee so that we can be able to assign the new members, the likes of Honorable Esther and the Honorable Anne, Mr. Speaker. So, because they don't have committees, so it means this is a crucial step. And I want to urge the honorable members that in as much as we know where we were coming from, during the balancing of committees, there were members whom we seconded to House business because they were not having sufficient committees. I want to address the concern by Honorable Jelule. So I believe we can give the same members, even if those who are there, for unity and progress of this House, we can consider them, because House business is just a committee like the other committees. It's only the vibrancy and the task given to this committee, and I believe the honorable members who have been nominated to this list are equal to the task. But, Mr. Speaker, they need to pull up their socks, because I believe even on Wednesday they need to come early as possible so that they can slot businesses for the day. So I support the list, and I, the honorable members, to support. Otherwise, we need to give them a serious warning, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Korir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. I wish to
support the motion raised by the Honorable Minority Leader. Mr. Speaker, remember we are just beginning the session and we have very crucial businesses to run. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, when I check on the list, apart from expressly mandated members, right from the chairperson to the fifth person, the rest of the members are equal to the task. We have Honorable Josephat Bet, who is also representing Chesume constituency or sub-county. We have Bridget, represents gender and people with disabilities. We have also Milka, also a ranking member and gender, and Paul Birej, representing Tinte sub-county. So these members, Honorable Speaker, are up to the task. And I therefore rally upon the House that we approve these names because the journey ahead of us in this session is actually enormous and we need to move on. Mr. Speaker, as to what Honorable Tarbey has raised on the issue of seriousness and performance of duty, that one relies upon the chairperson to ensure that the members are present and that they are serious enough to handle these duties. I therefore request that we approve these names so that we can be able to move in this session, given that we have serious business. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Kogo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to give my remarks on the approval of the members of County Assembly to serve in the County Assembly House Business Committee. Honorable Speaker, this is the year 2024, and we need serious business to be transacted in this Honorable House. Honorable Speaker, after going through the list of the members, ranging from the chairperson up to the member number 9. Honorable members, for the smooth running of the business, we need to, on personal capacity, and to ask all the members so that we can approve the said members so that the business of this house will start running smoothly as from today. Honorable Speaker, I just want to say that I've seen the new member, that is Honorable Josephat Bet, who is now new in this business committee. Honorable members, all these members are equal to the task, and I just want to urge this house that to let us approve this list so that we can start our business. Honorable Speaker, Bridget Songkok is a member representing the PWDs. We have Honorable Milka, who is also a chairperson, Women Caucus, and CPA Paul Pirej. All these members are honorable members, and Honorable Bet Josephat being included in this, he will also serve as a new member, but given this chance, I know all these members will do the needed work. Honorable Speaker, I just want to say that the other members who are new, that's Honorable Misoya and Honorable Ann, after this approval of this committee, also they will be included in various committees. So, Honorable Speaker, I just want to say I fully support the approval of these members. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Sarah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me this chance also. Okay, to come up with my input on the list of members here who are going to serve us in the House Business Committee. So as I have seen, they are able members. They can deliver their work very well, diligently. So the first 4 members, anyway, 5 of them, those ones you cannot debate about it because they are the holders of those positions according to the standing orders. But when it comes to the others, I think it was actually to balance even gender. So if I look at my equation, 9 members, we should be having three ladies. But from the list, we have 2. So, Mr. Speaker, I don't know what parameters or what criteria was based on so that it's arrived on only 2 honorable ladies instead of 3. So that is the question that I have. So I'm not saying I support or I don't support, because maybe there were other parameters that they were used. Because for the first 5, those ones we cannot debate about those members, but the rest 4, I think it was to be used to balance the gender. Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Kirongo, you are up to the task to respond to the question raised by Honorable Sarah. What parameters did you use to?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think we've dwelled on this issue more often, Mr. Speaker. And you know, what we just did is to, what actually majority leader did is replacement of one. Replacement of one. So, Mr. Speaker, we are balancing 4. Out of 4, Mr. Speaker, apart from the ones that are automatic, we have 2 ladies, Honorable Bridget and Honorable Milka. And of course, Mr. Speaker, if you can, the precedents that have been set in this House, Mr. Speaker, is that, you know, we have generally, Mr. Speaker, you know, we are doing this on balancing of all committees. And that is why, in the wisdom of the majority leader, we didn't want actually to make an overhaul because it affects subsequent committees. So, Mr. Speaker, for the purpose of the unity of this county assembly, we said at least just small adjustments so that it cannot actually tamper with other committees. So, Mr. Speaker, it is in order because the affected name was a member from Kapchorwa, who was a man. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, it is in order.
Honorable, you had a question, Honorable Mutual. I don't know, have you been answered?
My question is not yet answered, Mr. Speaker. So when we talk of gender, okay, balancing the gender, it is by the law. And we cannot give excuses of saying for the sake of other committees. In this House, we have...
Point of information, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honorable, people who do inform?
I don't need to be informed.
No, Honorable Sarah, who do inform Honorable Whip? You want to inform Honorable Sarah?
No, I wanted to inform the House.
Okay, you need to know that.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity so that I can inform the House. Indeed, the honorable members just mentioned about gender. But in this House, Mr. Speaker, we only have 14 against the 30. So if indeed we were to consider gender, it means we would go somewhere and have other honorable members. Maybe we could borrow from Wasingishu if it is indeed it will be allowed, Mr. Speaker. No. So indeed it was only balancing, Mr. Speaker. Because you see we have only 14 gender against the 30. So we were only trying to balance. I wanted us to inform the House that even if we try to balance gender, it means we will not attain that one. So it's a matter of balancing other 2, because in other committees where we sat, we only have 2, and it could be 3. So it means we have to understand and pair with each other after we have given them 2. Furthermore, Mr. Speaker, 9, if you see the gender of 9, it could be maybe 2.5, and we don't have person which is 2.5, Mr. Speaker. So it means we have to come to the minimum so that we can balance all the committee. At least we have gender in every committee.
Yeah, the House, you have informed the House. Honorable Sarah, you can wind up your contribution.
Okay. I don't know why we don't understand the mathematics here. It is very simple. 1/3 of 9 is 3. Yeah, and it is exactly 3. There is no 2.5, there is no shortcut. And this is the House of Rule of Law. Okay, so when members who are elected, when honorable ladies were less, It was upon the party to balance. And the party have done its work. We are balanced in this house. And this is a serious committee that we cannot just overlook. We need 3 women in this committee so that the business will move very well. We are enough. 14, we have 14. So picking 3 to this committee is not, it is not something hard. Why do we have 1/3? We have 1/3. Yes, this is a serious committee that we need serious women.
Honorable Whip, understanding order.
90, accuracy of facts. Did I hear honorable members saying that the party did balancing? It was upon the party to balance. Yet, the honorable member is here independently, Mr. Speaker. Sir. Anything to do with party, I'm very much conversant, Mr. Speaker.
No,
So can the honorable member substitute on that?
Honorable Whip, you are out of order. There was no balancing on the party issues, but they were balancing on the gender issue. So Honorable Mutual is in order. You are out of order, Honorable Whip. Because Honorable Sarah is talking about the gender on the balance of this county assembly. That's why we have the elected members of the county assembly who are women, and then we have 2 nominated members of the county who are men. We have 3, and then we have 2 members who are men to represent the gender also. So Honorable Whip, Honorable Sarah is in order. Continue, Honorable Sarah, and then you wind up your contribution so that we can move.
Okay, thank you. So may I continue with my points? So I'm only saying that gender is not observed in this committee. And what we want is to balance the gender. And to all committees, it is not only to this business, House Business Committee. Any other committees, we are enough. We have enough ladies to balance all the committees. Even if they are repeated even twice or thrice, that is our share as women in this honorable
Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Point of information, Mr. Speaker.
Point of order,
oppose.
Honorable Darby, and then Honorable Sarah.
Yes.
Let us have the point of order from Honorable Darby.
On accuracy of fact, Mr. Speaker, is the honorable member for Koserai, in order to mislead this house that gender refers only to the ladies, because even men are gender, Mr. Speaker. Where we are, you should clarify that in all committees, they should not only look at the ladies. Even men, Mr. Speaker, we need to forget for gender.
Point of information, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable
The House, including Honorable Member for Kosirai. Honorable Speaker, according to the minority who just read on this motion, Honorable Speaker, there are those members who are automatic to be in this committee. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, according to number 6, that's Honorable Beth, Bridget, Milka, and Paul Pirech, CPA. Honorable Speaker, this is simple mathematics in that we have 2 honorable who are men and 2 honorable women. So, Honorable Speaker, we are just dealing with 4 honorable members. That's Honorable Beth, Bridget Songong, and Honorable Milka Chumba, and Honorable Paul Birej. So the other members are very much automatic to be in this committee, led by the Honorable Speaker, who is the chairperson, majority, minority whip, minority leader, and minority whip, including the majority. So, Honorable Speaker,
Point of information, Mr.
gender
Speaker.
balance. Thank you.
Point of information, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Korir.
Honorable Speaker, I wish to inform the Honorable Member Sangalo Kibulonik that when we deal with gender, I think it's very clear, the Constitution, not the standing orders, the Constitution states or stipulates that we are looking at the membership, not just a section of the members, but the entire membership of 9. So it means it is very clear, that a third of 9 is actually 3 members. So not a selection. Thank you.
Honorable members, I hope what Honorable Sarah is asking, or she's asking, is on the issue of the composition. I don't know whether you got the question that the 9 members, we are using 9, but we are not using 4. So that I was asking that if the others are automatic and they are men, or they are male. The other house could have also been used that parameter to cage. So otherwise, it is upon new members to debate on the same, then you know what you are supposed to require. So, no, Sarah, I hope you have wound up your contribution. I'll now, Sarah, you are over. You are done. Because you have been interrupted as you are winding.
Yes, I've been interrupted so much, but I was driving the point home. We have to observe gender issues in this house. In the future, we have seen, even when the executive, also, the other time they presented their members for the Public Service Board, and the gender was not observed. What happened? The other time also the CECs, the gender was not observed. What happened? Then why is it that when it comes now to us here in the House, we want to break the law? And we are here to observe the law and to keep it up to the letter. So I stand to say that the composition is not gender sensitive. It could be either the other sex or the other sex, but we need 1/3 to be observed. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Turbosa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I also arise to oppose this motion. Reason is the Constitution. It is not well constituted. To me, if I see all these members, apart from the 4 members, it is not regional balance. Some other sub-counties are left out, and it needs to be covered. Every sub-county should have a person to represent in this house business. We have 6 counties, whereby we could be having one from each sub-county. Secondly, I need to know how these members were nominated, the 4 members. And yet the select committee have not yet met so that they could appoint these members and bring it to the whole house. So how was it be done? I also support what Honorable Sarah has said about the gender balance. Gender balance is not well done. We need to consider gender, that is ladies. We need to have 3. I want to correct Honorable Whip. He said that we have only 14 ladies, and yet we are not 12, we are 14. We are 14 ladies. So 14 ladies, some even don't have other committees. Some have only 2 committees, whereby they could be factored in. Lastly, we need to see the seriousness of these members. Why I'm not supporting this motion? The members we are deliberating on are not present. How can we adopt these members while most of them, 4 of them, are not around? So,
point of information, Mr. Speaker.
I don't need any information.
Kindly, may I inform the
No, Honorable Silas, you are out of order before I've given you the opportunity. I've never given you the opportunity. Do you want to inform?
The House, Honorable Speaker, I see Honorable Paul Pirage is within the House. And yet the Honorable Turvosa Kuto is misleading that there are no members, and yet Honorable Paul Pirage is here. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Speaker.
Continue, Honorable Turvosa. I hope you have been told that I informed that the Honorable Pirage is in.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm sorry I have not seen Honorable Pirage. Maybe he arrived late, I don't know. So maybe he's the only one who is present. Otherwise, the others are absent, including the leader of majority. So we need people who are serious. We have members here who are serious, who are always present, and they keep time. But those who are always absent, Imagine today is the second day after resuming from recess, and somebody is absent, and they are the ones to go and deliberate about the business of this house. How can we adopt it? So I don't support this motion. I reject. Thank you.
Honorable Mosbey.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also rise to oppose this motion because of the reasons that some of my colleagues have raised. And I think, Mr. Speaker, the error that is in this list, the error of lack of gender balance, the error of lack of regional balance, because we are in this house because of interests. And if one region is not represented, and in this particular case, I'm talking about the constituencies where the honorable members come from. I want to speak particularly for constituency of Aldai, where there is no single member, Honorable Speaker, who comes from Aldai. And yet, we have all the other sub-counties that have been represented. We have the shortage of gender balance here. We have very able ladies from Aldai. One of them can be picked to occupy, or rather to balance, on the gender matters. And this debate, or rather this motion, no one is going to oppose it. But when we see such glaring imbalances, we will, or personally, I'm going to oppose this motion. That indeed, there is no gender balance, and this is a wake-up call, especially to the leadership of this house. There are other committees, and I thought the able member from Kosirai would say this. A committee like that of appointment is not gender sensitive. Somebody can wake up one day and go to court, even if we pass this list the way it is, can go to court and force this house to observe the aspect of gender. So this opportunity where we are making adjustment, Mr. Speaker, should be an opportunity so that we correct imbalances within the house on various aspects. Otherwise, I thank you for this opportunity and I oppose this motion. Thank you.
Honorable Getel.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute in this motion. Mr. Speaker, I've heard honorable members talk about the gender and all, because we need business to move in this county assembly. And the only committee, Mr. Speaker, who will operationalize all the businesses in this county assembly is this House Business Committee. And Mr. Speaker, understanding order number 154, it has expressly given the automatic members. In 154.1, Mr. Speaker, A, the Speaker who shall be the chairperson. That, Mr. Speaker, it has not talked about any gender. It has said the Speaker. If the gender is a lady, if the Speaker is a lady, it is that way. If it's a man, it is that way. And Mr. Speaker, again, it says the leader of minority, which does not say again about gender. We have the leader of minority party, the majority party leader. Mr. Speaker, I think the gender there is silent. And then on 3, Mr. Speaker, 154.3, in nominating the members of the County Assembly Business Committee, each County Assembly party shall include its whip into the membership. We have 2 parties, Mr. Speaker, in this County Assembly. We have UDA, which has given us their whip, and then we have, Mr. Speaker, the minority party. That is
the party of Honorable Grongo, Mr. Speaker, and for getting it, because it's minority, it has given us its whip, which is Gavolwe. Mr. Speaker, I want to urge honorable members and plead with them. Let us just allow these members, because the precedence has been set. If we can read the members of House Business for last year, Mr. Speaker, it is the same. On gender issue, it is the same. Because Honorable Bett from Nandils was replaced with Honorable Josephat Bett from Jesumei. Mr. Speaker, the precedence has been set. So members, let me plead with you, let us allow these members to work, because again, Mr. Speaker, the selection committee, and I was in the last year, I was complaining, Mr. Speaker, that we have other members who have less committees. And Honorable Josephat Bett was one of them. And Mr. Speaker, if Honorable Josephat Bett is given, and honorable members knows Josephat Bett had less committees, let us allow him to work in this committee so that we save him in some other situations, Mr. Speaker. And again, Mr. Speaker, as the selection committee will be sitting to place the new honorable members into committees, we should consider other members who have less committees. And those who have more than 3 committees, Mr. Speaker, should relinquish others, Mr. Speaker, for the other members, because we are all the same in this county assembly. I think that is very important if we balance, so that we include each one of us in committees. We are very active, Mr. Speaker. Each honorable member is very active. It's only that, Mr. Speaker, I was worried because the same members who we are talking about were absent. That was my concern. But nonetheless, Mr. Speaker, I know they are equal to the task. So I urge honorable members, please, let us allow them. Because I can see Honorable Kervesen, that is Honorable Josephat Bett. He was complaining a lot for the better part of last year. And I think maybe the majority leader see to it that let us give him another, let us add him a committee. So, Mr. Speaker, let us allow this committees, Mr. Speaker, so that we operationalize the business of this county assembly. I urge you, honorable members, let us support. All of us, we are equal. When it comes to committee, the same selection committee. Now that Honorable Grongo is the vice chair, Honorable Grongo, make sure each member here should not be disadvantaged. Even the new members, they should not be disadvantaged because they came in a bit late. So, Mr. Speaker, let me end there, Mr. Speaker, by saying, honorable members, let us allow them to, this committee to work so that we operationalize the business. When it comes to committees, the issue of gender should be adhered to. Thank you, Mr.
Point
Speaker.
of order, Mr.
Under standing order number, Honorable Mosbe.
Point of order, understanding order number 90, accuracy of fact. Is it in order for the honorable member from Chepkunyuk to mislead the House that the only way to satisfy Honorable Josephat Bett is to put him in this House Business Committee? Aren't there other committees where he can be put, where he can be placed, so that he satisfies, or rather so that it satisfies his cries? Because Honorable Josephat Bett is not he's not a female. We have Honorable Birech, who is also a male there. Why is he not talking about, because the option is, for instance, if you shall allow, Mr. Speaker, that Honorable Birech is removed, or Honorable Josephat Bett is removed, or both of them are removed, and you put females there, honorable members. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Geter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the honorable member. Maybe did not hear me very well, Mr. Speaker. I did not say this is the only committee to satisfy Honorable Josephat Faith. I said, Mr. Speaker, we have more honorable members who have disadvantages in other committees. And I see if we can solve for Honorable Faith here, we can solve in the other committees, we can solve other members here because we have issues. Mr. Speaker, we have other honorable members who are not, their committees are not sufficient, Mr. Speaker. And honorable members knows. Even I had Honorable Sarah, Mr. Speaker, if you look into those committees, it is not enough. So, Mr. Speaker, I urge the honorable members that let us allow these members to work. I plead with them. So that I said, if we can fix Honorable Faith here, we can fix other issues of other honorable members in the selection committee. And that is why I have advised Honorable Kirongo, who is the vice chair, because the chair is absent, to see to it that that is considered in the selection committee, which are doing because we have new members, so that we can solve once and for all cries we have been having for other members having less committees and others have more than one committees. Even if it is me, Mr. Speaker, if I have more, I'm ready, Mr. Speaker, to relinquish so that we are all equal in this county assembly. Thank you.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Yes, point of order, Honorable Sarah.
Okay. What we need in this committee is what we have said. Gender balance, regional balance, and nothing else. Talking of other committees, that one will come. There were men and women who sat, and they came up with these names. Okay, honorable members who knows the rule of law, and they came up with it. So it is not in order for the member from Chepkunyu to come and beg and bleed. We don't beg and bleed where the law takes its place. So we are just following what the law says and nothing else. Period. And I oppose the list.
No, you have honored Honorable Sarah and you are point of order and you are still opposing the motion and you had already contributed. Honorable members, I know you are aware that before we commence any business, the House business must sit so long as so that to arrange for the business of the year or of the year. Now, in actual sense, yesterday we would have, it was the day that we are supposed to have passed these names to the county so that the business can transact. So we are getting late, and I want you members, you know what is required for the list to pass. Because immediately after, if you adopt the list or not, the House business will sit so that to allocate time for the business that we are supposed to transact in this county assembly. So I'm requesting you that as you contribute, you also see the time that if the names will not be approved, they will not necessarily what we are supposed to do. But I want to talk about time. Two, Honorable Tuvosa talked about the selection committee. The selection committee will be formed after the House business, because it is the Speaker and the Majority Leader to appoint the names of this and the Minority Leader to appoint the name to serve in this. It is not the selection committee to appoint the House business. And if in case, if the assembly was, if in fact it was the first assembly, if the members, if the selection committee was supposed to be in place, okay. So it is not the function of the selection committee to appoint the House business. It is the Speaker, the Majority, and the Minority to apportion for the, and it is guided by the standing order that we have talked about, section 154, 1 and 3. So that immediately after that, now the selection committee will now in place to apportion members to the various committees so that the county assembly will move. So it is not the selection committee to appoint the members of the House business. It is the Speaker, the Minority, and the Majority. So, honorable members, you need to have 1 to 2 to contribute so that we propose the question, and then we'll move to the next agenda. Honorable Whip, Honorable Kagoni.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to contribute to the very important motion that is on today, selecting of the House Business Committee. Because for this House, Mr. Speaker, to run, we need to have a business committee that plans for what will be discussed in this House so that everything is managed here. But, Mr. Speaker, we also need to have the confidence in those members who will do it, which we do on the list that is appointed. But we are going against the Constitution. We are a house of rules and regulations, but we cannot leave away the Constitution just to satisfy members. The Constitution is very clear. 1/3 gender rule must be observed, and then all the other issues that other members have raised. So the leaders who make this list, you're not there to do easy work. Your job is to go back and sit down and make the list. Very unfortunate is that all the leaders of the House are males. So we did not decide that. We don't oppose that, but we need now to go to the other 4 members. We have a lot of work to do, but we need to follow the Constitution. The Constitution is very clear. So on this one, I stand to oppose. Mr. Speaker, allow me, because I did not get a chance yesterday to welcome Honorable Member Misoi, to welcome to the House. This is a House of Rules and Regulations, Mheshimiwa. As you can see, we're going through business here. It's a learning process. You're already going through the induction process, live. Welcome. We welcome you to the team. I'm a member of the Simba Party. I'm the Deputy Minority Leader. So welcome to the team. And I know you don't know the party that I'm in, Honorable Member. I'm a member of the Simba Party. Honorable Tildai. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Kagoni. Honorable Whip. Oh, okay. Honorable members, Kirongo, you wish to give the right of reply before I put the question?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In moving this right of reply, Mr. Speaker, mine is just a simple request that we pass this motion the way it is. Mr. Speaker, I've had Honorable Mospei and Honorable Kagoni agitating for gender sensitive. We are aligned to that, and we are aware of that. Only to inform them that you might be the first casualty, Mr. Speaker, because you know, Mr. Speaker, balancing, Mr. Speaker, you know, I started by saying, don't push the selection committee. We wanted just unity. And that is why we just wanted just minimal adjustments so that, Mr. Speaker, for the purpose of this county assembly. But if we go by Honorable Kagoni and Mospei, Mr. Speaker, as the Vice Chair, I'm worried.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Point of order.
Mospei is just giving, you have contributed to Mospei.
Yes, Mr. Speaker,
you have contributed to Mospei.
I want to seek your protection.
Yeah, what is it, Honorable? What about the Honorable?
The minority leader is singling us, I and Honorable Kagoni, for accusation, yet 90% of the contributors of this motion rose on the concern of gender. Is it in order, Mr. Speaker, for the mighty minority leader to intimidate just the two of us into submission?
Honorable Kirongo, you are the mighty Honorable Kirongo. You can...
I'm just speaking the truth, Mr. Speaker, because when balancing House Business Committee, it means, you know, when you remove Honorable Josephat Bet and Honorable Birej, means you have to take these people to other committees, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, my plea, honorable members, and as given by Honorable Majority Leader, that tell the members, the House, that let us go on just minimal adjustment. Mr. Speaker, the issue of gender sensitive, Mr. Speaker, why now, yet we had only two, Bridget and Milka, Mr. Speaker, the other time. It's only 1 year. Mr. Speaker, let us understand ourselves. And of course, Mr. Speaker, we cannot give honorable member for Kosirai 8 committees, yet Honorable Silas have 2. Mr. Speaker, let us be considerate. Even if we are mindful of gender, Mr. Speaker, we have other members who are equal to the task, Mr. Speaker. I'm saying, as we, and of course, Mr. Speaker.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Sarah.
Yes. Okay, let me inform the leader of minority that I'm not in 8 committees. I'm only in 2 committees. And you cannot say that if you can give Honorable Sarah 8, and another person is given 2. I'm even one of those people who are complaining that I was only given 2 committees. But what we want here is that balance.
Point of information,
We are not
Mr.
after
Speaker.
anybody, but what we are just after is that gender,
Point of order,
that
Mr.
gender
Speaker.
balance.
Yes, let him
But
clear
not
point of order and then we'll
that one is
contribute.
on 8 committees.
Point of order, Honorable Keter.
On accuracy of facts, did I heard the honorable member saying that he is only in 2 committees, while I know he has more than 3?
Honorable, accuracy of facts, you have been asking Honorable Sarah, and Avatu Grongo also can substantiate on the accuracy of facts on the number of committees as you wind up your,
I said,
your right of reply.
Mr. Speaker, I said if we go by the request of honorable member from Kosirai, Mr. Speaker, we will end up by other members like Honorable Mutual having 8 at the expense of honorable male leaders, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, in due respect, we will do our adjustment ensuring that all members are catered for. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I kindly request that we pass this list the way it is. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, I now put the question that this House approved the following members to serve in the County Assembly House Business Committee. 1, Honorable Cheruyot Meli, the Speaker and the Chairperson. 2, Honorable Walter Teno, the Majority Leader. 3, Honorable Girongo, who is the Minority Leader. 4, Honorable Julius, who is the Majority Whip. 5, Honorable Gevolwe, who is the Minority Whip. 6, Honorable Josephat Pate, Member. 7, Honorable Bridget Songok, Member. 7, Honorable Milka Chumba, 8, Honorable Milka Chumba, Member. And 9, Honorable Paul Pirej. Will as many of
Aye.
Will as many of our opinions say nay? Nay. The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 9, adjournment.
So being any other business, this House business, members before honorable members, the House business now has been adopted in the County Assembly. You are required or you are requested to meet at the Speaker's clerk's office, so to have to plan for this County Assembly. So otherwise, members being no any other business, this assembly is adjourned to today, Wednesday, 2:30 p.m.